Hello, everybody. Welcome to KSP. We're on our second episode of this playthrough of the research tree, back to Terrapin Station. This is actually Trevor in post-recording in the video editor. I did record quite a bit of audio while actually filming this, but at the time of filming this, I was quite tired, so there's quite a bit of times when I just needed to focus on what I was doing. So here we are in the vehicle assembly. Here I am building a rocket that is going to take us to the Mun and do a landing. So what we're going to do is we're going to build our booster stage, of course, not in that order, but we'll have a booster stage, and then we'll have a circulation stage, and then our lander itself. So we're going to do that. Again, I was just quite a bit tired as I was recording the actual main video footage of the playthrough and the actual landing itself. I'll probably bebop between actual audio of me playing and of this video in post. But anyways, hope everybody's doing good. I am recording this on Memorial Day 2026. It's nice to have a day off from work. The kids are down for a nap. The wife is out running some errands. We just got some yard work done. Spent some time with family yesterday. I hope anybody stateside in America, enjoy your cookouts, enjoy whatever you're doing. Anywhere else on the planet, anywhere else in the world, still enjoy your day. Hopefully everybody is doing well, I guess is what I'm trying to say as well. So here I am attaching my Terrier engine to the main lander. That's going to give us just enough thrust and actually pretty fuel efficient as well as we approach the surface of the Mun. That's what's going to give us a nice touchdown. Let us hop around a bit, as you'll probably see. We're going to have a pretty stereotypical Mun landing where you think you're landing on a flat surface, but it doesn't always end up that way. So no spoilers until we get to that point, but that's likely what it's going to look like when we get to there. But yeah, throwing some science on this thing. Got our mystery goo, putting down the barometer and our temperature readings. Got the Science Junior on there too. That's going to give us some science as we approach. We're going to try and stop at several spots during our mission. We're going to try and stop in deep space, high above the Mun, close to the Mun, of course, on the Mun. So yeah, we're going to have some fun on this journey. I know we just got to orbit in the last video. Things are ramping up a bit. I was thinking of just trying to do just a typical Artemis style, just a typical, just a wrap around the Moon, make it back, just do a slingshotting. But I figured, we have what we need to do a landing. I could make this video a bit longer, do a wraparound of the Mun, shoot back. But why not go for the landing, get some science, build up our tech tree, and then see what we can do with that. I might shoot it back here to our video audio here in a bit. Again, I think mostly I was just kind of quietly assembling this thing. I don't think I was much sharing anything as I was building this thing. But as you see, what I'm doing here is I'm putting together the circulation burn stage. This is what I'm taking up into high Kerbin apoapsis. This is what's going to help me push our apoapsis so that we can make a full orbit around Kerbin. Not too much, not too less. I think it'll get us just what we need, and then maybe then some. That right there, slapping on a swivel engine. Swivels, like in the early game, seem to be just what you need kind of like for smaller vessels. As we get a bit bigger with our rockets, they'll be a little bit more weedy as far as like being able to push, the thrust to weight to bigger vessels and bigger tanks and boosters. You're going to need more of them to get the speed you need to really do a nice circularization, because it eventually will unlock some heavier rockets with a little bit more thrusting power that'll get us higher weight, larger payloads and fuel and all that good stuff to get us a little bit further. But here we are, building our rocket, riveting things. We're going to have 4 swivels attached to the outside of our rocket here, with a swivel in the center, I believe. I think I put a swivel in the center as well. I believe they're all swivels all attached to the same tank. I have not unlocked the fuel line just yet. So it's all going to go at the same time in the same stage. That is our boosting stage. So that's what's going to get us high up, and then we'll decouple, and then we will be in our circularization burn. And here you'll see what I'm trying to do is what I was trying to do in the previous episode looking at auto strutting. And auto struts, pretty much when you unlock the strutting, what you can do is you can click on these things and you click auto strut, and it helps keep everything together. You can attach it to the heaviest parts, the grandparent part, just so everything's a little bit more solid, so we have less wiggly, noodly rockets. I think there are things that you could do to get to that point. It's not as simple as you just have it. I believe you have to do something that's called advanced tweakables in the settings, and how you get to that. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but it doesn't just appear. It's something that you actually have to kind of dig for, but it's a useful tool. So that we don't have any noodly rockets. You watch a lot of playthroughs of people starting off in a KSP, and they have these longer snake-like rockets that just kind of bend and flail around after they launch. And what that does is kind of help with the rigidity of the rocket, so that you don't just have flying spaghetti noodles just kind of right off the launch pad and break into billion pieces. Here I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to name this thing. I was just really kind of having a writer's block. Again, just so tired as I was recording this video. And again, I think I just kept in mind maybe just keeping the Grateful Dead theme. No, not everybody watching this is like, we're not the greatest Deadheads, but I think I stuck with the Sunshine Daydream, I think is what I finally settled in on this rocket. Just because, hey, Sunlight Daydream. We're going to be flying in the sunshine. And we're going to make our way there. There's probably much better Grateful Dead songs I probably could have picked from. There's literally a song called Standing on the Moon. Could have picked that. Plenty of other options that I could have picked. But in that moment, I think I was just tired, ready to light the candle, ready to get this thing off the launch pad. I think I was just ready to get it going. All right, and we'll get this off to the launch pad, so we'll see how this goes. We just built this guy, calling it the Sunshine Daydream, sticking with maybe a little bit of a Grateful Dead theme. I don't know how much longer that'll last. But here we go. So what we'll do is we'll switch on our SAS. I'm also noticing we don't got who we want. I'm going to go back to our launch and throw on Bob Kerman. That way we have the correct person or scientist on board. I know we got good old Jeb, but I want to make sure we can get as much science as we can. I don't think I hit the right revert. Revert flight to vehicle assembly. I must have hit launch again. I am tired, so bear with me. So let's get scientist. All right, here we go. We're going to get this launched. All right, let's get on our SAS. We're gonna put up our throttle, and let's keep this in mind. So we're gonna go ahead and go for a launch. There we go. Looking good. Start our gravity turn a little early. Might be a little too early. Let's just get a nice angle. We'll keep an eye on our time to apoapsis, so that way we're keeping it a nice, kind of keeping it at that minute mark, just trying to keep it an efficient burn. I'm also realizing that I do not have any batteries on this, so we're going to see if that's going to become a problem. That would probably be nice to put on this. We shall see what we might run into with that. My ultimate goal with this is for sure I do not want to cheat in any kind of way. Alright, I am going to throttle down a little bit, as it seems as though I am kind of pushing that minute mark to apoapsis. So I'm going to move it down a bit. We got this beautiful curvature of our lovely planet here. I think I'll be fine as far as the electronics go. I really hope it doesn't end up... I mean, I think really that'll come into handy if I need, of course, like SAS and to maneuver back. So I guess I do really want to make sure I don't lose any power. Could have thrown a solar panel on it, didn't. A lot of things I missed doing on this ship before I decided to launch it. Push comes to shove, I can always revert it. Our apoapsis is getting up there to 70 thou. I should have enough of my circulation burn to have some left over, and then also to help get me to the mun. So that'll be fine, I think. I'll be okay with that. So why don't we go ahead, we can push a little bit further. Let's see what I'm looking at, like here. Yep, got a nice long 30 seconds to apoapsis, apogee. Let's go ahead and just burn off the rest of this. Okay. Right, let's go ahead, we can activate this guy here. Keeping it at 90. Let's just push this guy out, huh? Lock it at prograde. Trying to get a decently round orbit. And we're good. Cool. So now we got our orbit. Looking something like that. Looks okay. What we'll do is we will create a maneuver to go ahead and get us towards the mun. Okay, electric charge still not looking too shabby. So what I think I'll do is exactly that. So let's go ahead and we will set this as our target. We will add our maneuver, and what we will do is we'll go over here to our little nice maneuver mode guy. Kind of lower this a little bit so we don't overshoot. This kind of sets the scale of just how much we're gonna be toggling these different things. So we have like our prograde marker, we have our retrograde, our normals and anti-normals, radials, all that good stuff. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna tug on this here node here. We might want to add a little bit more to that. That's a little too... There we go. Okay, so we're just going to pull this out. On the actual node here, you can do this as well. I like to pull from here. You can do wherever. And you see we kind of overshot it a bit. But what we're going to do is this. Again, you can just grab this wheel, but what I like to do, we can take this arrow here, and you wait for these arrows, and then eventually you get a mun encounter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus view here. And what we're going to do is exactly what we did, but we're going to try and get this aligned. And sometimes it's just playing a bit with your maneuver nodes just to try and get it to align. And voila, we got a beautiful circular, kind of weird, a little wonky. We could probably try and normal that out a little bit. But nice, look, we got a nice encounter with the Mun. And what we're going to do is we're going to go towards it, we're going to circularize, and then we're going to land it. So let's go ahead and get ready. Moving towards our maneuver spot. We got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's go ahead. We can warp closer to that burn stage. And what you like to do is also you want to burn within about the half amount of time that you have for the burn. So for instance, the burn time is 35 seconds. I'm going to want to engage my thrusters, whatever 35 divided by 2 is. So all right, so we're in post with Trevor, and here I just wanted to pause it for a bit as I try to better explain what I didn't articulate very well in the actual video recording of this. You want to burn about half of the time before your actual burn. So about the halfway mark. So for a 35-second burn, I'd probably want to get jumping in on that probably about 17 seconds. I was pretty tired, didn't do a very good job at explaining that, and my math was off anyways. And as you'll soon see, that doesn't much matter anyways, because I think I completely whiffed it. I think I got too busy yapping and completely missed that burn. Everything worked out, but just in general, good to get a good halfway to, like, if you divide your burn in half, lead into that burn with that much time. So again, like say hypothetically, it's an 8-second burn. Start 4 seconds before your burn starts. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. So I'll probably start launching them probably about 12 seconds. I'll speed up the thrusters probably about 12 seconds before. What I like to do as well is I'll kind of show it better when I'm actually doing the burn. I like to get close to the actual kind of the destination where you set the maneuver to end, and kind of like to end it so I can kind of use the shift and control to kind of toggle the thrust to kind of like precision it into exactly where I want it to be, because it's really easy if you wait for the burn to end exactly on the spot on the nose, you can accidentally go over. You can really end up where you don't want to be. I mean, you can fix it. But what I like to do is I just kind of like to do, oh, I missed my, here we go. I was yapping and missed my burn. But I'll try and show it to you here too. So you can see we got our apoapsis getting a little bit further out. We got our burn here. We got 19, 18, 17 seconds left of our burn. Eventually that line is going to match with this beautiful line we have here. But what you can do, what I like to do as we get closer, I just kind of like to stop it. And then you can just kind of teeter it in. That way you're not blasting. So I just have a little bit of baby thrust going on there. And honestly, you can even get rid of that if you want at this point. Unless you're trying to go for like a very specific distance. I'll just go to there. Could be wrong, could be right. So there we go. We have a path where we are going to rendezvous with the Mun. So much like if you watch any of the Artemis missions, it's very similar to that, where it might look weird here, where it's like, well, you're here. The Mun is there. Why aren't we just shooting straight towards the Mun? Well, the way we did this was we went in high enough orbit of Kerbin, that if we catch, we essentially are getting caught by the Mun as it's orbiting us. It's fuel efficient. It's the same thing when you talk about interplanetary burns, like when spacecraft go to like Mars or go to Mercury or other planets, in this case like Duna or wherever. It helps to do such a burn in that way. You're not burning the entire way to the planet. You're essentially slingshotting and getting caught in the other planet's sphere of influence. So what we'll do is I'm going to warp out a little bit and see if I can catch any sciences kind of far out away from Kerbin. To see if I can collect some sciences out here. So there's the Mun. That's our destination. We'll be getting there at some point. Let's go ahead and check out some of our mystery goos. I'm going to go ahead and EVA. While we do it, let's collect this goo. Cancel. I want to... okay, yeah. Was I able to observe it? Did I get what I wanted from there? Observe it? Okay, perfect. Yep. Keep it. Collect it. And then restore it. And then we're going to check our temps. Keep experiment. Take that data. All right, next stop, we're going to go back to the Mun. We're going to get a closer, kind of high above the Mun sciences, because we can get some kind of deep in space. And now let's see if we can get something high above the Mun. We'll kind of see where we're at. So I'm going to EVA, see what that says. If it's, ooh, okay. I think that should be okay. Let's EVA real quick. We have the Mun looming. We're going to EV reports. Yes, space high over the Mun. So we're going to collect some sciences here as well. We're kind of in the dark right now. Ooh, we got kind of an eclipsing of Kerbin. That's kind of cool. Got the sun kind of going behind. We're in the shadow of Kerbin and the Mun. All right. Get some more sciencey stuff. We're going to collect that. We're going to restore it. We're going to log pressure data. Keep it. Take it. Temps. Keep it. Take it. Conduct material studies. We're going to keep it. Collect it, remove it, restore it, close it. Okay, I already did that on its own. I think I already did the EVA report. All right, so we are going to board again. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get a little bit closer. Actually, I could do my close after I do my circularization. The Mun is just in complete, total darkness right now, though. That is pretty cool, though. But what we're going to do is this. We're going to do our orbit burn. So what we're going to do is we're going to get close. And we are going to throw it into retrograde. My goal is to try and make sure I'm not adding a lot of junk into space. So I'm really hoping that I'm able to bring the circularization engine I brought with me down to Kerbin's surface. Not Kerbin, the Mun. So that way I'm not just littering. So let me see if I can do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Maybe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and... I think I can try. So when I do my descent burn, I'm going to try and see if I can bring it with me. So why don't we go over to here? Let me go ahead and get some science while I'm right here first. I think that's what I'm going to focus on right now. Let's get some sciencey stuff. Look at the Mun. We're here. We're going to do an EVA report just above the Mun's lowlands. Get some science. Observe mystery goo. We're going to keep that experiment. We're going to collect it, move data, restore it. We're going to take some temps, take it. We're going to take some barometric readings. Take that, take it. We're going to go ahead and conduct our Science Junior experiments. Collect that, remove it, restore it. And we're back. All right, let's go ahead. We can go over to here. I mean, there's so much science you could probably get just from going all the way around. I actually think I'm going to try and get a landing. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, yeah. So I will be able to ditch my stage. Cool. So that's going to take 53 meters per second. I still have about 60 left in this engine, so that should be fine. So I'm not going to be littering after all, so that makes me feel good. So let's go ahead. We can get to this. SAS, maneuver. And then let's go ahead. We can warp over here to it. So we get to our maneuver, which I honestly think is just retrograde. We're going to see if we can get in this. That's not going to be... Well, we'll burn and see where we get. See if we can land in this crater at all. If we don't land in it, it is what it is. I just want to land anywhere, honestly. I just want to make sure that I can get a good landing and then get back to Kerbin. So let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and go ahead a little bit. Just a 1 second burn, pretty measly. All right. Let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to get closer to, all right. At this point, this is going to go ahead and crash into Kerbin at any point. What's my battery looking like? Oh, I'm okay. I should be fine. It is depleting, but very slowly. I'm not, it's just whenever it's using SAS or whatever reaction wheels inside looks like. So, I mean, not too terrible. All right, I'm going to quick save it just to be safe. So that way, if I do crash, it's not the end of the world. It'd be pretty cool if I were to pull this off without a crash, but if something happens, it happens. Kill off some speed, and then let's just go ahead and decouple this. Okay. Perfect. All right, we got quite a bit of ways to go. But I do want to kill off some speed so I'm not just plummeting into the surface of the Mun. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it there at 30-some thousand. Kill off some speed. We need to have at least some more. We have to have some delta V to get back off the Mun's surface. So, I mean, I don't want to overdo it. Hey, it's me again, your friend in post, Trevor. Just trying to talk a little bit about what's happening here. It seems like in gameplay, Trevor was just really trying to focus in on this descent, I should say, onto the Mun's surface. And whether it's efficient or not, you want to kill off some speed. And that is just doing these burns, which is, I don't think I have it set just yet. I'm looking at the screen here, but you want to set it to surface and you shoot retrograde to the surface, and basically it orients the rocket to shoot away from the surface, so you kill that speed, and then eventually you'll see the rocket just kind of knows what it's doing. It'll kind of orient itself so that the landing gears start to face closer to the actual ground, and that's how we get that landing. And It can be kind of a fun but tedious process in this stage. You know, it's very exciting. You see the Mun just looming closer as we get closer and closer and closer. And then you see all those craters, and you see all of these different pits and valleys and slopes. And that's where we come up with a challenge of, is this going to be a nice flat surface for our lander? Taller a lander, harder it is to land. I got 6 landing legs on this thing, but even then, they're pretty spindly. Pretty level, I would say, too, with the bell of the Terrier engine. Whether that comes in handy or not, we shall see. I'm doing some quick science as we are approaching our landing, just to see if there's anything else that I can gather before we actually touch ground. I also love how you can always hear my frantic key clicks and mouse clicks and stuff, how annoying that might sound to somebody who's actually listening to me and watching me play this. To me, it's funny because I don't always think about just how frantically I'm hitting the keys to get things oriented. But you see, we're getting closer and closer to the surface. I don't know what exact mod it is that has my Mun surface looking this detailed. I did notice as I'm landing that some of these things are popping in and out. You can see some craters kind of popping up in the distance. As we get closer, you'll see some more surface material like rocks and stuff. You can see it kind of now, little specks kind of growing in as we get closer and closer. So here you can see in the descent, it's pretty touch and go. As far as you see that meters per second, we're just trying to kind of baby it, cut it off, cut it on. We're just trying to keep an eye on that so we don't plummet into the surface of the Mun at too fast a speed. We would just blow up on impact. So we want to make sure we keep it kind of at a nice like 4 meters per second. Just kind of slowing it down. That way our lander legs can handle the force of hitting the ground. And just making sure that we're not, again, just turning into a giant fireball. But as you can see, looks like we're landing on possibly a slope. We might have to do a little bit of finagling. If not, it might be a little bit more flat. Let's see what we're landing on here. I think we're landing on a slope. We might have to hop around a little bit. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, we might need to do a little bit of hopping around action. Let's go ahead and see if we can get down. In this valley over here a little bit better. Let's see if we can finagle it a little bit. I don't think that was going to be good. Let's go this way a little bit. Keep an eye on my Delta V too, because I don't know how much left. That seems like that would have been nice and flat over there. This is getting a little bit better, maybe. I'm still not really liking it. Okay, we're gonna shoot for this little spot over here. And again, I might have burned too much, but we'll see. This is nice and flat. Let's see. I might have been a little greedy with my Delta V on this landing, but we shall see how this goes. How's my... I'm good on electricity, okay. This seems to be much more flat. Alright, so... this... Okay, a little bit faster than I was hoping there, but there we go. We have a Mun landing. We are inside of a crater. Yeah, that worked out a little bit. I'm kind of shyer on the Delta V side than I wanted to be, so we'll see if that's going to be enough to get me back. If not, we will just try and see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and quick save it. And okay, yeah, let's kill off SAS so that I'm not killing that battery there. But what we'll do is try and do this. Let's try and retract. Ooh, that was not stuck to symmetry. Let's do this. Remove that from symmetry. Retract it. I'm going to try and see if I can level it out a little bit. It's not really doing much for me, but maybe a little bit. I wouldn't mind being on a flatter surface than where I'm looking at this mess. But if I keep it in SAS mode, it's just going to burn my battery because it's going to try and keep it stabilized. Alright, let's EVA. So what we'll do is collect that data. We will restore it. We're going to take this data. We're going to log some temps. Take the data. We're going to log this. We're going to do this. All right, so we're on the surface. We can do an EVA report. So here we are trying to get our photo op for the thumbnail for the video, and also just trying to get a good picture of us in front of the ship. We got a nice Mun landing. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's see about doing some surface sampling. That's some science there. We're going to do EVA reports. We can take that. And of course, what is any landing without a flag? Perfect. We're going to do this. We're going to call it Mun LZ1. Okay. Okay, let's try and see if we can get this guy home again. So we're going to jetpack into without knocking it over. Knock. We're going to get right back. Ah! Get back up in there. All right, perfect. Board, and then quick save, and then we're gonna shoot towards a 90-degree sharp orbit, and pray we have enough delta V to circularize this. I think we should be fine, and we're gonna need enough also to get back to Kerbin. So I mean, there's that too. So I'm keeping an eye on my delta V. Let's warp here. I just need enough of an orbit to circularize, and then I just need to be able to get back. All right, so let's try and get ourselves back to our home planet. We're set. We're going to make a maneuver, and then we're going to see if we didn't completely burn out our reserves of fuel. No, I think we're going to be just fine getting back. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to try and move this, and perfect. And with fuel to spare, we'll be fine. I think I got my head a little bit on that one. I think maybe I was being a little overly cautious. Could have been more efficient on those burns, but still, I think we are doing good. I'm going to see if there's any more science to collect just where we're at. Doesn't seem to be wanting to cooperate. Crew reports. Okay, I think we're good on science, to be honest. Let's go ahead and quick save. And what we'll do is we will prepare for our burn to get us back into the sphere of, get us back to, just get us back home. And we are headed back home, leaving the Mun, getting back to our home planet, leaving this, and we're going to shoot right back to get captured, and there we go. So we have successful escape from the Mun, and we're going to say bye-bye. We're going to go back home. So it's been nice. This was a fun landing. Went off very well. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and venture, let's say, out to here. Just so we can say bye-bye to our Mun friend. And venture deep into space. As our blue marble gets ever closer. All right, let's flip this in retrograde. Now, we don't really need to. I just always kind of like burning off some speed. All right, so what we're going to do is this. I'm going to get a little bit closer, and then I'm going to detach. All of this bottom stuff's going to go ahead and burn off in the atmosphere on re-entry. So far, so good as far as not littering our wonderful solar system. All right. Stage it. And then we have our wonderful heat shield that's going to do a lot of extra work for us. I'm just going to go ahead and time warp. It usually will correct once we hit the atmosphere. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And now let the sparks fly as we re-enter. In post Trevor here again. But yeah, what a successful trip. Yeah, we are coming back into the atmosphere of Kerbin in our lander. You can see the sparks flying off of our lander here as it comes off of our heat shield, coming down at insane speeds. But now, yeah, no, that went off without a hitch. Battery problem didn't come out to be an issue after all. Keeping an eye on that. Next time, definitely will be taking up some solar panels with me, as well as a spare battery. I think sometimes when you're just also tired, but also just in the VAB, just building the rocket. Easy to forget things, silly enough, like parachutes, or even like a decoupler that actually removes the descent stage. So you have a heat shield, but no way to actually to expose it because you still have a tank attached to it. So things happen. You just learn, and if you don't catch it fast enough, you can revert it, or just gotta kind of figure it out. Come on, shoot. There we go. Okay, we're cutting it close. Oh man, I really need to throw some radial shoots on this thing. It just, every time, my heart just starts going nuts. That we're just gonna slam right into the ocean. But here we are. Look at this wonderful, vast ocean. We're gonna plummet. We're gonna gently, land back into the ocean, review our findings, call this a mission success, and then we're gonna go buy some more stuff from that from the research tree. Overall, very successful Mun landing, Mun trip, and here we are. Perfect. Let's go ahead. We can recover our vessel and our lone astronaut. See how we came up from that. See how much science we collected. See what all we can get. Nice. Cool. So yeah, so we got some good science from that trip. So let's go ahead. Yeah, we could see what we get from this tree. Okay, so heavy rocketry. Definitely want to look into that. Advanced fuel systems. This external fuel duct will definitely come in handy. But let's see what we got over here in electronics. All right. Okay, definitely want batteries. Don't really use a whole lot of the thermal control systems. Octo, that is a good for if I was going to make like a satellite. Aviation, again, these are good stuff for me if I was going to be adding some wings and stuff, but further along the tech tree, I think I am going to go ahead and get this just to get it knocked out. Heavy rocketry, of course, we're going to get that. Heavier rocketry, not just yet. These are going to be awesome, but not just yet. Monopropellant, minified. Oscar B fuel tanks are usually pretty helpful. I do want this because what that's going to help me out with a lot is doing a lot of asparagus burns where I can funnel and be more efficient with my direction of fuel to certain boosters, engines. So that'll be really nice to have. Advanced construction. I think some of this stuff is with a mod that I attached with a space shuttle. So we shall see if that actually becomes useful. Excuse me. Whew. Okay. Definitely want some Airstream protective shells. Let's go ahead and unlock some. Yep, I want this for sure for EV experiments. Stack decouplers. Yes, I want this for sure. Clampetron Junior. I want that. Space exploration. Absolutely. Look at that. Let's just go ahead and knock that out. Landing, definitely gonna want some stronger landing gear. Yes, research that. Just with that one trip, you can see just how much science that got us. Now we're able to unlock quite a bit of good stuff. So let's go ahead and get this stuff too. And now we're broke again. So next video, maybe we'll do a Minmus run. We'll see about getting to Minmus. Honestly, a lot easier to land on, a lot more flat surfaces, and to be captured by. It's a lot smaller. The only trick with that is sometimes it can be tricky with the way you have to fly to. The angle is different, is what I'm trying to say. And goodness, if you can hear just even like in my voice at the time of recording this gameplay footage, just how tired I was. I'll try my best to maybe in-game footage to be more lively, be more awake at the time. It's the best time I have to make these videos is usually kind of around nighttime. Kiddos are in bed, not so much having to be a person. So I really just, you could hear it in my voice, was just really tired. So, but I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm hoping to post more of these. Maybe next trip we can make a Minmus run, land on the Cool Mint ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream surface of Minmus, and that's a much easier landing. It's a much easier mission in general. Just trying to get the angle of orbit is really the only challenge with that, but I'll post that in the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, just stick around, and yeah, I'm gonna try and do these. But anyways, thank you guys. Bye.